Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a free versus free on Alvarez. Playing on Team 1 as the Necrons, we've got Neverdrek, we've got Frigg Reed SCQP as the Imperial Guard, and we've got Ramin Kolyani playing as the Space Marines. Whereas on Team 2, playing as the Orcs, we've got TA's Freak, we've got Fu playing as the Eldar, and we've got Spice playing as the Tau Empire. Do quite like the name Spice. Does make me think of that Russian commander from Red Alert who's trying to escape the clutches of capitalism by escaping into the only place that capitalism can't touch. Of course, that's Spice. I do miss those kinds of games. I do wish that in games these days there was like live acting in the cutscenes, just like the in the RTSs of old. But that is a time long gone. That is the golden age. Disappeared. We are now just living in the husks and remnants of a fallen society. But okay, so it's quite an even side of team compositions here. Necrons nice and tucked in the corners, so they're able to build up all their plasma generators with very little shenanigans been happening from the side down here. Don't really feel all that well about the Orcs being on this map though. Quite a tight-knit map for them. They do require a lot of space for their war banners. Also, only 3 listing purse they can build up, so they will be suffering for their blue money, unless of course they, get all... there we go, that's what Freak's going to do. He's going to build up his bigger listing purse to make sure that his economy is going to be on par with stuff. Alvarez, we've not seen Alvarez for a while, but it's quite a small map. 2 critical locations in the centre, small amount of stuff going on for everyone, and even though there are 3 members in each team, there are only 2 critical locations. Now, the Orcs are going to go for a Relic, but I assume that's because they just want the extra listing purse. Generally in games, you don't tend to get to the stages of the game where Relic units are involved, so it doesn't necessarily matter if you don't donate that Relic, but it will bite them in the backside if the Orcs do get their Relic unit out, as the Squig-Off is a little bit naff. Don't get me wrong, do I like a Squig-Off? Absolutely. Just basically a big dog with guns on its back, but the actual pathing for it is just shite, so, we might see if that works out. And I assume the Imperial Guard will go for the Relic here, just because Baneblades are like... Are they the best Relic unit in this game? I would definitely say they're at least a contender for the top spot. But in my opinion, I would say quite comfortably they are number 1. Maybe the Necron Monolith might come second, but not so much because of its damage potential, but just because of the utility it brings to bear, being able to build up stuff. But to be fair, by the late game, the Necrons tend to have a big army anyway, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Either way, Eldar are going to lay siege to the Infantry Command, and the Imperial Guard are just going to let them do it. After all, that building isn't going to go down anytime soon. I do love the colour scheme for these guys as well. But weirdly enough, so a million years ago, I bought an Eldar Combat Patrol for the idea that I would start playing tabletop more regularly, IRL. And then I haven't. But then I've recently started subscribing to a magazine. One of those ones back in the day where I used to get like a Lord of the Rings one, where they would send you 1 model a week, and then you'd pay like £2 for the magazine, first issue, and then afterwards it'd be like 10 quid a magazine, whatever. But yeah, so I've started getting back into painting a little bit, and the Eldar, I'm painting this colour scheme, so you know what? Fu's got quite a decent thing going on for him. And he's going to pop a guide on the Dark Reapers. A little bit of damage being done, but instantly being repaired by the tech priest engines here. Oh, I quite like that. A cheeky mind warp on the engines here, but actually just jumps straight into the infantry command, avoiding all that incoming damage. And now the command squad, now that they know that the mind war's gone, could just jump in, but to be fair though, that's double Dark Reapers, and if they just start charging forward, well then they'll just fall back then, won't they? Also got a big mech knocking around as well. Now Space Marines, you've gone for an interesting opening. You've gone for quadruple scouts and a whole smorgasbord of snipers, which will definitely do a lot of damage against the Eldari infantry, although that Farseer is not taking any nonsense from these guys. Is there any infiltration on these guys? We would assume that would be the case. We would assume that would be the case indeed. But no, they're just standing out, balls to walls in the open, feeling the wind on their sacks. And they're not feeling it. I mean, they are feeling it, but they're feeling it too much. That's not a vibe for them. Command squad has got involved, but has fallen back behind a stout ranking of Imperial Guardsmen. And the Necron Lord jumps on in. Lovely colour scheme as well. Bright orange for that Halloween theme. The pumpkin boys making all the noise. But yeah, a little bit of a mass in the middle at the moment. Sluggers on the front lines. Dark Reapers on the back lines. Thankfully though, the sniper rifles... Oh dear, 2 models taken out. And almost, in fact, a full squad wipe there would have been a real pain, but wonderful flanking manoeuvre from the Slugger boys. And then they're just going to watch those scouts scoot on by. Might get a model, potentially. I mean, what, the sniper rifles are 40 blue and 20 green, so every individual scout lost is a huge economic problem for them. Farseer, sadly, unable to really keep up on top of them. Doesn't exactly have an amazing chasing melee attack. Whenever she winds up her attack, it takes a while to actually charge up, but lots of AoE knockback. But for actual running down people in melee, that's not exactly the best commander to go for. The Cypress are going to come back and take a couple more pot shots off. There we go. There's a Mind War on one of them. And that will kill one of them. Now, sometimes you'll think, oh, well, that's a bit of a waste. You normally save the Mind Wars for the commanders. But to be fair, if there's no commanders nearby, then, I mean, you know, just use it. And then the cooldown will wear off eventually anyway. No point using it on Necron Lord neither, as if Neverdrek's got the micro on point here. I mean, the moment a Necron Lord is about to die, they just teleport away. Very, very difficult to kill a Necron Lord. The only commander that maybe can go toe-to-toe and really cause him some issues is the Archon from the Dark Eldar. Because he can stun him, and then confuse him, and then the Incubi, along with the pimp hand of the Archon himself, can slap him down. There's no Dark Elder in this game, so there's no point in mentioning them. A guy had been cast on the Dark Reapers, but then the Necron Lord just boofing them off the chops. And now grenade launchers from the Guardsmen. Also, tier 2 now for him, so Mechanized Command. I assume it'll be Chimeras. It's usually Chimeras. With that being said, they've got grenade launchers, so maybe if you want to keep these guys out, make the most out of those grenade launchers, then potential for Hellhounds? Question mark? Nope, Chimeras. Always Chimeras. Can't go wrong from them, really. Command Squad gets the zap off on the Big Mech, and a John Cena being placed on top of the Dark Reapers, also nullifying this listing shrine for defensive reasons. You also have the grenade launchers just because they're quite a long-range weapon as well to bring to the battlefield. Allows the lightly armoured guardsmen. It's not necessarily... I mean, look. I mean, if you look at the morale, it's not been upgraded. And I assume the armour has also not been upgraded, question mark. So, yeah, it just allows them to not have to focus too much on all the upgrades. Let them stand back a bit and avoid all that incoming damage. Support portal on the way for the Eldari, and a Falcon Grav Tank. Always a good choice when you're going for double Dark Reapers. Stick a buff in. Helps them reposition, especially when the Necrons are on the field. Helps them avoid those solar pulses. And the... Oh no, you have phase shifted out the way, so you're actually quite safe there. Absorbing that incoming damage from the Listing Shrine as well. Eldar got to lose the second one. And where are the Tau? Where have you been this entire game? He's been chilling out, minding your own business because of missile barrage. And I assume he's been... I mean, you've got the thermal plasma generator, but quite a lot of money saved up, but zero army, more or less. Orcs are coming back with some knobs. Now, right in the middle of the Imperial Guard. Commissar keeps the men inspired by killing one of them. So no morale being broken over there. Still less than ideal. Necron's now wiping out the Eldari base. Repositioning, using that Falcon Grav Tank. Still, what a beautiful colour scheme that is. But let me just tilt the camera so we can see all the good stuff going on. John Cena being placed over there, but of course the Falcon Grav Tank can just shimmy and shake around the side. Knobs have lost their morale. Now got some Immortals coming over to do that damage to the buildings and whatnot. Second squad of Knobs there. Quite expensive, but considering that they're elite Orc infantry in the tier 2 department, quite cheap. I mean, expensive for Orcs, cheap for other factions. They've got a good amount of health, keep them on the go. Now, chasing away those Imperial Guardsmen. And I'm surprised that the Necrons are actually focusing down the Soul Shrine, sending the Eldari back into tier 2. But they are going to instead just focus on the economy. And here comes this. Is this what we've been waiting for? Just a Skyway missile gunship coming on over. I mean, as the tank says, the patient hunter gets the prey, but that's the most patient I've ever seen a hunter ever be. And then instantly being zapped by the Psyche of the command squad. So Chaos Machine Spirit's not going to go down anytime soon. Soul Shrine on half health. Double Bone Singer's teleporting on over here to get some repairs on in there. Oh, have you got a little love heart going on there? I love it. Very Sailor Moon-esque. The Eldar have still got fighting force on the field. Solar Pulse keeps them away, and the Necrons have been beaten back finally. But at what cost? Well, we know the cost. 3 listing posts and a plasma generator, and a support platform as well. Or support portal even. And just another Skyway missile gunship. So you're just thinking, right, let's just build vehicles and then go to Teachers of Kion. Okay, alright, fair enough. So none of this mischief, you're just going straight into late game. And you also have that relic as well, so maybe the big angry chicken will be coming out and causing some mischief and mayhem. Let's have a look at the economies. 60% and 125, 92 and 53, and 86 and 40 compared to 105 and 53, 38 and 20, and 160 and 119. So if you combine like all the economies for everyone, I mean this team is kind of focusing a lot on getting the techs up, but also having a large standing army. Whereas these guys are defending with the smallest amount of army humanly possible while building up their economy. So if this team can survive towards the later stages of the game, well, they're going to have quite the sizable army. And yeah, it's just missile gunships. If you throw enough missiles in one general direction, then everything will die. These guys don't really have the punching power to be able to get through anything. Although we'll start going for some upgrades. Death Before Dishonor and a Basilisk. Never a bad shout. Have a strong front line and then just, you know, blow things up from a distance. Skyway missile gunships moving in a pack of 3. And now the squad caps themselves, so no more for that. But when they take up into tier 3, they will have the maximum amount. All 20 pieces of the puzzle. Regimental commands to tier 3 for the Imperial Guard. And things have just kind of calmed down a little bit here. No one's fancying push any further. We do have some Grey Knights, some Space Marines with plasma guns. Interesting choice. There's no heavy infantry for you to take on. Oh no, I lie. The knobs, they're all heavy infantry. It's not a bad idea, but they will just charge into you and bash you in the face. So maybe building up these Grey Knights, sticking a chaplain in there for good measure as well. Basilisk taking a couple of pot shots off here, there, and everywhere. Long-range scanner. And yeah, look, the listing post for all these tower emplacements, all down to tier 3. That's pretty good. You'll see some, yeah, just more. Oh, God Lord. Now, I assume you've gone for your missile barrage upgrade. So, are we just going to see, like, about a million bajillion bloofers being fired everywhere? I do hope we do. I have to keep my eyes out on that. That's the closest thing you can get to a nuke in Soulstorm, I think. Basilisk continuing the shots. Where are you firing exactly, Mr. Basilisk? You're firing here. So you're doing a little bit of damage to the Listing Shrine. But it's not exactly like you're going to be taking it down anytime soon. Not very accurate neither. I'd certainly suggest to wipe down the goggles on whoever's driving. Was Necron Lord going to come out and say hello? He's also managed to do a little bit of damage to the Dark Reaper, does that Basilisk. Phase shift on him just so he can avoid taking any kind of damage. That's a lot of firepower from the perspective of that Necron Lord. Don't fall back now. Trying to get a cinematic shot. Fine, we'll have you just running away. Dude, oh, you know what? I never noticed a skybox in this game. A nice lovely sunset. Necron Lord says, right, well, we know what you're doing now. So we're just going to stop you. And the... Oh dear, oh dear. There was a squad of Immortals, and now there's just one. Very unfortunate. Psycho attempting to get a zap on one of these dudes, and actually just pure cask and fire, maybe a little bit of Immortal fire, and one goes down. To be fair though, Tau vehicles are extremely fragile. So the fact that he's actually put all his eggs in a very fragile basket is questionable. But then again, if we've got the knobs on the front lines, which they're just kind of standing around, minding their own business, just waiting for the Tau to set up. I'm going to fast forward. I've been patient enough. Here's a Necron monolith. Ready to jump over the side. Are you a real one? You are a real one. Real as hedgehogs. But the... Good lord. Are these guys actually able to hit it? Doing practically no damage. Their accuracy isn't great. Here comes some bloofers there. Powerful blast. And they're just going to keep on throwing some more blue at them. Can't even see them. Oh, good lord. What a wonderful, ineffectual idea. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it's a beautiful thing. But that's a lot of resources to kill one squad of Necrons. I mean, there's still plenty more where they came from. Got Vespids for defensive reasons. Pathfinder team, and also a XV-88 broadside battlesuit. But my goodness, my gracious, those Skyway missile gunships go down quite easily. Just a stiff breeze sorts them out. Space Marines now building up on this side. Orcs got their squig off and the flash kit. So I said earlier on that they're probably not going to see any relic units. But no, we're seeing all of them from both sides, more or less, I assume. Will we be seeing the big chicken? Not at the moment. Plenty of missiles from the Tau. And no Necrons left to speak of themselves apart from this Necron Lord. Monolith just sitting around the corner, waiting to teleport in. Can't imagine him teleporting it in, because, I mean, there'll be a lot of missiles being fired at him. But then again, we've found out that the actual accuracy for these scouting missile gunships are a bit shite. So, there we are. One blue have been sitting on the side. And another one, just for good measure. Not doing much, I'll be honest. Not doing much at all. Are we seeing some action? We are seeing some action eventually. An unlimited swarm of Slugger Boys, I assume, is coming out from the boys' huts. As he's now in the late game, so all that will be free. Triple Hellfire Dreadnoughts, and the pathing of the Squig-Off might stop him from coming forward. Only one squad of Flash Kits. Only got two squads. Keskans and Imperial Guardsmen. Moving on over for supporting the Space Marines. Also the Tau seem to join in as well. Orbital Bombardment. Smack bang in the middle, as well as a Valkyrie fire. The Orcs been hemmed in this narrow choke point. Definitely doing them a badness and a sadness. But the Tau can, you know, they can play a game too. They've got just as much boomy bits to throw in the middle of the battlefield. And there's just explosions everywhere. There's a bit of calm. And now it's just chaos and mayhem. Necron Monolith also teleports in. And Terminators holding line as best they can, while all three of the Hellfire Dreadnoughts have been knackered out. Still got those Scout Marines with their sniper rifles doing what they can. Surprised that they survived for this long. Destroyer in the middle of the battlefield. As Necron Monolith opens fire in any targets that they can get a hold of. Also got some Kroot Dogs as well. Somewhere in the ranks. Flayed ones coming from the ground. And it's just, where's the positioning? There's just none. It's just, everyone's just throwing whatever they can at everyone. Fake Necron Monolith just to absorb some fire, I imagine. And Squig-Off goes into the Space Marine base, barely taking any damage. So that's definitely a primary target for the Space Marines and the Imperial Guard to really focus on. And even though this fake Monolith doesn't do any damage, it does do a bit of a knockback with its large green orby crystally fire thingy-madoodad. Triple broadside battlesuits would be ideal at focusing on the restored Monolith, but seem to just be slapped down by these pariahs. And actually throwing down some bloofers towards the fake one. Does he not realise which one is and is not fake? And fair enough, I make that mistake all the time. We have a Baneblade coming out soon. As the Squig-Off is just having a grand old time. He's in the middle of some Terminators. He's in the middle of some Grey Knights as well. We do have the Dark Reapers being active in the middle of everything. Eldar. Now, oh, we're gonna see a Fire Prism. We never see a Fire Prism. I can figure out counts on one hand over the past two almost. We're coming on to our 3-year anniversary this January. I could count less than 5 times I've probably seen a Fire Prism on this channel, so always a pleasure to see. Squig-Off still remarkably healthy. They do have some grots in there for repairing. Predators, Cassicans, you name it, it's all there trying to hold it back. But the power of the Necron Monolith and the Baneblade coming forward. But that Necron Monolith is just taking no damage whatsoever. For reasons beyond my ken. Is it because there's a Bill of Scarab just standing next to it? I assume so. So while the Imperial Guard and Necrons are holding the centre, the Orcs are just washing over the Space Marines. Like we said, the unlimited amount of Slugger Boys that they can now bring to the table is going to gradually wear and tear these guys down. Got to bear in mind that as the game goes on, these strategic points will start to decay, so the economy will gradually be reduced for everyone. But the Orcs, I mean, yeah, when everyone's got no money, they've just got free Slugger Boys. Double looted tanks coming in as well. Baneblade taking a bit of a damage, but they'll be fine. And yeah, is there a bug or something? It feels like as if this dude's not taking any damage. I'm just going to keep my... Oh no, you are taking damage. It's just that. Fair enough. Ignore me. Ignore everything I'm saying. So yeah, bring that Baneblade over here, baby. Space Marines are struggling. Especially with the flash kits inside the base wall. Another orbital bombardment comes in there. but the flash kits will just move just slightly out of range of it. A tantalising potential goal, but not quite being scored by... Oh, no, never mind. Ah, that's one way to do it. That Dreadnought just saying, get back in there. We want to see you go, boom. Oh, have you grabbed the Mad Dock as well? Very good look. Ah, that Dreadnought just says, right, I know how to fix this. Move aside, scrubs. This is not my first rodeo. This is my 10,000th year in war. I remember what Terror looked like when there were owls on it. And now I'm here to bring the pain. It's owl time. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with that. Just some Dreadnought really keen on avian culture of old school Terror. But yeah, I mean, Team 1, they've got the centre. No problem. And the Tau, don't get me wrong, I liked their strategy. Hold back, build up a million things, and then bring on the big stuff. But they've had very little impact, even with a whole flotilla of Nimskari missile gunships. Generally, you would see them in support. You know, maybe a strong Tau Fire Warrior front line, and maybe one or two of these. But no, we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that at all. Squiggoff is now quite low on health, but I assume the Orcs have got plenty of money left over. No, you don't. So when that Squiggoff goes down, they won't be able to afford to replace it. Their economy isn't amazing neither. So quite an issue. Do now have the Wraith Lord mass starting to build. While they are War Walkers, meant to be engaging in close... Well, sorry, not War Walkers, that's a completely different unit. But they are Walkers that go to war, able to engage in close combat, but generally you'll see Eldar players keep them in range stance and make use of their bright lances. Baneblade has gone down. Squiggoff is also brown-breaded. The big fat D-E-D, dead, as the Orcs would probably spell it. Big mech going toe-to-toe with an Ogre in there. Might find a bit of combat. Can you kill something for once? No, you don't. That's the problem with the War Boss in Soulstorm, and to be fair, in any iteration of Dawn of War, the War Boss is always a bit shite. But that's okay. We love him anyway. Old Gorguts. Classic character. Surprised that they haven't made a tabletop version of him, but you know, I mean, Games Workshop doesn't really seem to care about this, you know, this RTS. Although I'm not going to talk about that anymore. That makes me sad realising that. But we care about it, don't we, boys and girls? There's a big bomb down there, but who's the targets? Is it the scouts? It is the scouts, and the scouts are... Well, that's one way to kill all the scouts. Mighty fine bits. And can we actually see the floor here? Look, there's so many dead Orcs in the centre. We literally cannot see the floor in some places. Glorious. Absolutely love that. TA's Freak really showing that if you just throw enough meat in the grinder... I mean, I don't know what he's achieved. He's actually been pushed back, so maybe the meat grinder tactic isn't working for him, but it's at least aesthetically pleasing. And Rule of Cool is what wins my heart over. We now have a Deceiver floating around in the centre. Immune to any kind of damage. And he's just being in the middle, summoning forth a fake Necron monolith. And, yeah, Scarlet Missile gunships throwing down some more bloofers on it. Not, again, why are you wasting so much resources on this dude? And I don't mean this dude as in, like, this comma dude, referring to Spice's dude. I'm talking about as in, like, this chap here. So I've been doing commas with the kids today. And you know what? I've quite enjoyed doing a little bit of grammar with people. Although I'm quite terrible at it when I'm doing it on the fly. The teaching is quite fun. Yeah, what the fuck's going on? Pardon my French, but I do quite like these games where maybe you get like less experienced people playing, because there's just no rhyme or reason for why things are happening. Got double Lehman Russes. Not sure where the looted Lehman Russ tanks came from or went. Squiggoff is back on the field somehow. We've got triple Warp Spiders who are just chilling out, minding their own business. It's like, sorry, we don't really fancy going to war today. They could do. Got some smiting going on here that the Orcs are just kind of running into. We've just been rallied here, and then Freak has forgotten to air move you. So you get here, probably die when you get here, but like you've got a brief moment of attacking someone nearby. Yeah, that one guy manages to get to the rally point, but then dies straight away. Here's the Great Narlock. And he does stupid damage to singular targets. Got Demon Armor, which is resilient against a lot of damage types. Sky Missile Gunship firing away into the Lehman Russes, although Doesn't really do that much damage against vehicles, does it? More orbital bombardments. Breaking down the Orc position. Tower Chicken is dead. Do quite like the Crutox. The casual swagger of a bird on top of a bird monkey. Or ape. Whatever kind of zoological terminology you want to reference. Tau subspecies or whatever. The mortals are about to get blasted. Oh no, the thing that was going to blast him is dead. That was good of him. Very handy indeed. Orcs, stop being rallied here. Go do something else. Paint the rest of the floor green. There we go. There's the Orc spiders. Now they're inside the Space Marine base. They had a brief moment of respite, but now the Eldar are finally doing something. Space Marines have got the Terminators back online. As the Necrons start pushing into the tower base. They've only got a couple of dogs. And a Fire Warrior bodyguard. Plenty of firepower incoming on top of them. Necron's not feeling the vibe there. Turn around this side now just to get a bit of a different view. Rainblade in the centre, full health. And the Skrugoff seems like it's carrying some cargo about with it. Are you knobs or are you grots? Or you're just keeping safe for now? I assume that's the case. Powerful fire around the tower, keeping those Necrons at bay. Very nice stuff. A fresh, real Restore Monolith going on there. Skrugoff. Oh, right, it's flash gates. You've got flash gates in there. So the Warp Spiders are killing things. Flash gates are providing all important supporting fire as well. Kaskins and Terminators seeing if they can do some damage to the Skrugoff. And the Skrugoff is odd. You know, I never knew it had demon armor as well, but it does. Fair enough. That's pretty useful. Well, someone said shit, they've got no builders. And, oh, the Space Marine. Oh, you've lost your HQ at some point. That's a bit of a pain. So the Space Marines are now basically limited to what they already have, which is not much. How much money do you have left saved over? Not much at all. Oh, don't be mean, Neverdrek. That's not what we're here for. We're here for the good times and the fun times. And what a fun game it's been so far. Baneblade is dead. Yeah, once one of the players has been knocked out of the field. That's basically it. But there's still a chance. We have seen 2v3s before. Space Marine players down. We've got triple heavy weapons teams playing defense, although they are all auto cannons. So we'll be doing the maximum amount of damage to the vehicles, but still better than nothing. Here come the sluggers. They're not dead yet. Finally doing stuff. And the Necrons... Oh, the Necrons are giving up. Why? Have a glorious last stand, man. Boo that man. But to be fair, you know, people are busy. Got wives and kids and day jobs and all that stuff, so... I mean, I assume some people have. I've just got the day job. Here are the dogs. They've munched through the mechanized command. Now the Imperial Guard, the last men standing, as is good and proper. And just watching that storm of Xenos floating on forward. Sad times indeed. So I would normally do a summary, a little bit of a recap, just to explain, you know, hey, well, you know, this is kind of what one team did and what they could have done to improve and stuff, but was there any strategy? I mean, or was there it just chaos and madness? It was essentially, this team decided, right, we're not going to play the early game, we're just going to play a late game, get all our stuff out, and throw shit everywhere. These guys were like, we're going to play a little bit of the early game, and then when we realised that we couldn't push any further, we're going to start playing the late game. And because we're a little bit behind these guys, I don't know, because they had Baneblades, they had Monoliths. In theory, they should have really had the better unit composition. But no, just Orcs. Orcs happened. They just kept on going, and no one stopped them. There's the Ethereal as well. That's nice. So anyway, so cheers Moonkey, who's not part of this game, but he sent it into the Discord anyway. So cheers for sending that in. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you one game a week, and there is also a Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. Mine's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure's always never short. Now, see you in a bit. Peace.